Today you'll learn how to import 3D objects and make with it this cool ad like Apple does entirely in Davinci Resolve. Before we start, we can make this animation in one fusion composition, but the dark side is that the nose will be like this. You'll quit Davinci Resolve and we don't want that. Instead, we will divide it into 7 scenes. Each one will get this running time like I presented here. Let's get into it. First, grab a fusion composition to the timeline and crop it to be 3 seconds. Then, open in the fusion page. Here, let's grab a background node and connect it to the media out. Then, click on it and in type, change it to gradient. And in the gradient type, change it to radial. In the viewer, drag the left side of the green line to the top and the right to the bottom and adjust it like this. Then change the black color to a gray one and the white to black. You can also increase the offset so it will give us a nice look. Now grab a text node and connect it. Change the font to the Apple font, which is San Francisco display, and write the first word and increase the size a little bit. Let's copy the same text node and connect it with the first one so we can animate them together later on. Write the second word, then in layout, in the center, bring it to the right using the X value. Now, let's animate the first text. Again, go to layout and create a keyframe in the center, move like 15 frames and create another one. Then in the first keyframe, lower the Y value a little bit. Then open spline and make sure to activate show only selected tools. So when we click on the node that we want, it shows only in the spline editor. Here, select the whole graph, then right click and in ease, choose out cubic to get a smooth movement to the top. Let's give it a nice fade in, click on merge one, then create 2 keyframes in blend like the text and in the first one lower to 0 to have a nice fading effect. Let's create the second animation. Click on the merge to, shift plus space and add a transform node. Then create a keyframe in the center in frame 15 when the first animation ends, then move to frame 35 and create another one. And here bring the 2 texts to the left and put it in the middle. If you want to know exactly where, after the background node add a grid node. And in the settings adjust it to be like 3 rows and 3 columns and reduce the width a little bit. This trick helps you to get guides here so you know exactly where to put your elements. And deactivate it when you're done. To add the motion blur, click on the transform node and in the settings activate it here and increase the quality. Again, go to the text and also in the settings activate it here to get a nice motion blur to the animation. Open spline now, click on the transform node and select the whole graph and hit F to smooth it, then Ctrl plus T and adjust it like this so the animation will be slow at the beginning, then it's going to speed up. I want the second text to show when the second animation starts. So click on the merge to, then move to frame 15, create a keyframe in the blend. Move a few frames ahead, then create another one. And lower the first one to 0. And there you go. Now let's bring the first window to the right side while holding on the middle mouse. Make a copy of the first text node and click on it with number 1 of the keyboards. So we can view it in other window. We can't see anything, so go up here and activate dual viewer mode. And there you go. You can also review it by clicking here in one of the black circles, which are the 2 scenes. Let's remove the animation of this one. Just go to the layout and double click in the center word and it will reset everything. Type iPhone 17 and lower the size. Create another copy from it, then click on the first one, shift plus space and add a merge node and connect the second text node to it. To be able to see it when you adjust the second text node, put merge 3 in the second viewer. Now let's type RAW this time and bring it to the bottom. Change the font to Korataki, which you can download online, and increase the size like this, then connect it like this. To change the color of the Pro to the nice orange gradient, you can download this image as a reference, then put it in the second viewer, so we can copy the colors. In the shading tabs down here, change it to gradient and in mapping level, put it in Word. Then bring the qualifier of the black color to the image and release it in the brightest orange color. Again, in the white select the dark orange color. Go to the mapping angle and play with it until it matches the gradient position like the reference image. And also you can bring the slider of any color to get the look that you want. Let's deactivate this merge for now so we can animate this line over here. Go to transform node and create another keyframe in frame 70 and move it a little bit to the top. Then smooth the animation by selecting the second graph and click S this time. Select one of the points and move it like I do here, then select the other one and adjust it like this, but here while you hold on Ctrl, so you can't mess with the previous animation. Play the animation and readjust it to get a nice smooth animation. Now we need to apply the same animation to the second text, so add a transform node and like the first one add a keyframe in frame 35 and another one in frame 70, and bring the second one to the same position of the first text, and also adjust the graph like the first transform node. This way we will do a match cut transition to the text. To do this, we are going to do a cut here when the animation will speed up. Open the keyframes tab and select merge one. Then move to the point where the animation going to speed up and drag the right side like this to this point. This way the first text will disappear directly here. Then do the opposite thing to the second text. This time select the merge of the text, which is number 4, then drag the left side to the frame where the other disappear. This way we get smooth text match cut, which is a famous technique that Vox does in their animation. Now, to the part where we add the 3D model of the iPhone. Go to sketchfab.com and search for iPhone 17 Pro. In license, change it to free standard and download this one with this exact format, USDZ. When you do, in a blank space, shift plus space and search for ULoader node. When you click it, a window will pop up. Just search for the USDZ file that you downloaded and simply click on open. We need another node to show it, so now search for URender node and connect it to it. Click on the URender node and show it in the second viewer. And this is the 3D model, which is bigger right now. So after the ULoader node, add a UTransform node, which will allow us to control the size, position, and rotation of this 3D model. First thing first, the scale controls the size of the model. The translation values controls the position in the 3D space, where the Z value is how close or far the 3D model is to the scene. Then we have rotation values, which controls the look of the 3D model, and with those we are going to animate it like we want. Let's connect the 3D model to our scene. Then click on the UTransform node. In the rotation Y value, type 180 to show the back of the phone. But as you can see, is a bit darker, so after the URender node, add color corrector node. But we need to add another thing, because as you can see, when you adjust the brightness, the whole scene will be affected. To fix this, go to the white box of the URender node and drag another line to the blue triangle of the color corrector node, which is the mask properties. This means when you do any adjustment, it's going to affect only the node that is connected to. Let's do a simple adjustment like I do here to make it pop. When you're done, click on the UTransform node and adjust the rotation X value, the scale and the Y and Z value so that the iPhone model will be like this. Now, we are going to animate the rotation X value to appear from the bottom like this. Put it in the position when it disappears, then head to the frame where the text goes up and add a keyframe in the rotation X value. Then move to the frame where it stops and create another one, and lower it around 45, which the iPhone will appear. Open spline and adjust the graph exactly like the transform animation before. This way, the iPhone will appear smoothly with the text slide up like you see right now. Now, let's create the second animation of the iPhone model. In the exact moment when the iPhone shows, create keyframes in both Y and Z value in the translation. Then move to the last frame and create another one in the 3 values. Move the Z value away from the frame, then in X rotation make it 0, and move the Y value to the top center, and keep adjusting the Y and Z value until the iPhone will be in the middle like this, and you'll get this nice animation to the center. To smooth it, open spline and select the 3 graphs and hit S to get a smooth movement. To activate the motion blur here, click on the URender node and here in the settings activate the motion blur, and we're done with the first and the longest scene. To the second one, add another fusion composition and crop it. Inside, add a background node and change the color to a near white, like Apple does in their keynote. Then go to the first fusion composition and copy the iPhone 17 Pro text. Delete the transform and the merge nodes and reconnect it. Change the iPhone 17 color to a near black color. Now, what we are going to do is put the text and only the Apple logo in the same position as before to get a nice match cut to this scene. To do this, one trick I use is exporting the last frame as an image. and use it to match everything. Put the playhead in the last frame by clicking on the arrow keys, then go up here in Files, down here in Export, click on Current Frame as a Still. Then choose a folder to save it, then head to it and add it here. Put it behind the text nodes and in the merge settings, drag it to the top where the previous texts are. Then add the Apple logo PNG and change its size and position to match the logo in the iPhone. When you're done, delete the reference image. To change the color of the logo, click on the media node and simply click here to add background node. In the settings, change the type to gradient and use the qualifier to match the gradient on the Pro. To apply to the logo, click on the merge node and in operation change it to in. And there you go. It's simple scene, but you learned how to use match cut transition like a pro. Again, we are going to use this Apple logo to transition to the third scene. Here, connect a background node and head to the first fusion composition and copy the iPhone 3D model nodes without the merge. We can't see anything because of the U-transform animation node, but we will adjust it. Now copy the logo from the second scene so we can use it as a reference. Then head to the U-transform node and double click on each value that we animated to reset everything. Then use the Z transition value to match the position of the Apple logo to get a nice transition to this scene. Now we need to add two more iPhone models with the two colors of the iPhone 17 Pro lineup, the deep blue and the silver. Simply copy this tree node and paste it 2 times and reconnect it while holding on Shift. Then head to one of the U-transform node and in the X transition value, drag it to the right and copy the same value and paste it to the second U-transform node but add minus to it to be in the opposite direction. Let's change the color now. Head to the color corrector node of the left model and by reducing the saturation to 0 and tweak the other left gamma and brightness settings, you'll get the silver color. For the deep blue color, use the color wheel and drag it to the blue color and reduce the saturation to get a close color to the deep blue. And there you go. It's that simple. Now open the keyframes tab and select the merge of the gray color and crop it to frame 10. Then select the deep blue merge and crop it this time to frame 14. This way the orange will be the first, then the gray, then lastly the deep blue. The only animation we are going to do is at the end of this scene. Head to frame 23 and click on the deep blue merge. In Blend, create a keyframe, then move to frame 28 and add another one, then reduce it to 0. Apply these same steps to the orange, but start when the deep blue disappears, from frame 28 to 32. Then do it lastly to the gray color from frame 32 to the last frame. And as you can see, they will disappear from the right side to the left side. And make sure to remember this kind of movement because you are going to need it here in this fourth scene. Again, connect the iPhone model, then click on the U-transform node and set the rotation X and Y to 90 degrees. Then adjust the translation value to get this concept. And to put it exactly in the center, like I said before, you can use a grid node and use it as a guide. Now we need another duplicate of the model with the same color. Here we don't need to duplicate the whole thing like the previous one because we are not going to change the color. After the U-transform node, add a U-merge node, which is like the regular merge node, but we use this for the 3D nodes only. Then copy these two nodes and simply connect it to the U-merge. In the duplicate U-transform node, click on the Y value, drag it to the bottom, and use the rotation Y value to flip it to the other side. Then keep playing with the translation settings to match the edge position. Click on the merge and drag the whole thing to the top to be exactly in the middle. Now, to the animation part, add a transform node, then in the size zoom a little bit like this, and in the center drag it to the left. Make sure you are in the first frame, create a keyframe in the center, then move to the last frame and create another one, then drag it to the right side. And for the graph, just keep it linear. And as you can see, the movement of the fourth scene does the opposite of the last scene. But in the fifth scene, we are going to continue the movement to the right side. Copy and connect the same background of the second scene and grab a text node. Change the color to black and change the font. Let's write all the must-haves, which by the way I copy it from the iPhone 17 Pro official website. Then right-click in the text box, click on follower here in the modifiers tab, change the delay to 0.5 for this scene. Make sure you are in the first frame and create a keyframe in the opacity from the shading tab. Move like 10 frames and add another one and reduce the first one to 0. Then open spline, select the whole graph, hit F to smooth it, then Ctrl+T and make it like this to smooth it even further. And as you can see, it continues the movement to the right side. In the next scene, before the last, copy the same background node of the first scene, then copy the 3 models from the third scene without the merge and connect them here. In the U-transform nodes, reduce the scale a little bit and lower them a little bit to the bottom and bring them close to each other like this. After the background node, add a text node and write this, all an iPhone, and in the layout settings put it on top. Now let's animate the silver and the deep blue iPhones first, then the orange one. Click on the deep blue U-transform node, make sure you are in the first frame, then in the rotation Y value create a keyframe. Move to frame 45 and create another one. Then return to the first one and increase it like this, so the 3D model move from the side like this. Do the same thing to the silver model, but from the opposite side. Click now on the U-transform node of the orange one and put the rotation Y value to 0, then when the animation of the 2 models ends, create a keyframe in the rotation Y value. Move to like frame 61 and increase it to 180 degrees, so it flips like this. Smooth the animation by opening spline, then select the 2 U-transform nodes of the 2 sides colors and hit F to smooth it, and even further by adjusting the graph like this. Smooth the other U-transform node by only hitting F. If you have a lag while playing the animation, head up here, right click and deactivate high quality and motion blur, and the performance will increase. To do this 3D animation to it, we need to add a 3D camera, and to be able to use it, we need to transform our scene to the 3D space. First, disconnect the whole thing by double click on the line when it turns to a blue color. Click on the merge shift loss space and add an image plane 3D node. Then add a merge 3D node, and lastly add a renderer 3D node in this exact order. And with these 3 nodes, now you'll be able to work in the 3D space. To animate this scene, shift loss space and add a camera 3D node and connect it to the merge 3D. You'll notice that everything is disappeared. Don't worry, just activate the dual viewer mode, then click on the merge 3D node and put it in the left side by clicking on 1 from the keyboard. And as you can see, this is our scene in the 3D space. In the viewer, hold on the middle bottom of the mouse to move it like this. Use the mouse wheel while holding on Ctrl to zoom in and out, and keep holding on the mouse wheel and all this time to turn it like this. Let's put it in this position and click on the camera 3D node this time. This way in the viewer you can move the camera from the blue line like this or from the Z value, and you'll notice in the media out that the scene is appearing now. The translation and rotation settings are like the U-transform node before. With it you control the camera movement. But here there is this new option, use target. By default is set to 0 for now, which lock the camera at this point to be able to focus the camera on it while it's moving. You can change it by the way and see the kind of behavior of the camera while it's moving. For us, let's keep it at 0 and let's do the animation. It's a simple one. Just make sure you are in the first frame and create 3 keyframes like I did here and keep adjusting them so the camera will be in this position. You'll notice that sometimes we go outside the frame. To solve this, disconnect the background node and add another one, and in the settings, reduce the alpha to 0. This way we get only our objects without the background. Then head before the media out and connect the original background here. Obviously, since the background is here, after all the nodes, it will appear on top, but we need it behind them and not be affected by the camera animation. So right click in the merge and click on swap inputs. And as you can see, it's not affected. All you have to do is put the camera in this position, then in the last frame change the X and Y value to 0, and for the Z value increase it so the animation ends in this position, and just keep the animation linear, and we are basically done here. The last scene is actually the Apple logo only. Copy it from the second scene and increase the size a little bit, and put it in the middle like Apple does in their ads all the time. If you get to this point, thanks, and I hope you learned something from today's tutorial. See you guys in the next one.